Pay a professional, yeah.
I think you better clean it up before Jamie gets back.
True. What's good, everybody? I hope you're having a good day today. Come with me as I make a poor financial decision on taking these 2 abandoned cars and making 1 race car out of it. Now, for a little bit of context for you guys who don't know, these type of cars here, the Chevy Cavalier, the Chevy Cobalt, anything that has the 2.2 liter Ecotec engine are kind of the go-tos for circle track dirt racing. So we're going to try our best on taking the parts out of that black one and build that silver one into a silver bullet. Well, now we've already run into our first issue before we can even get the car out of there. I got to get a new hitch. The trailer's up all the way. It ain't going to meet the truck, so guess to the store we go. Alright, so we made it to the Midwest's heaven on earth. We're going to grab ourselves a drop hitch is what we're looking for. Yep, right there. Beautiful. Get you one of those. That way we can hook it up to the truck and hook it up to the trailer, and then we can pull that thing out of there. Hey, I actually worked on that race car. 2018 Paul Menard. It's pretty cool. Every time I walk in here, you can see something that he worked on. Yeah, that ought to get us there. What do you think? Get that 2 5/16 ball off, get it on this new hitch, and head back to the car. Alright, so we have the new drop hitch installed, but I'm afraid that I'm going to have to dig out these tires because there's just so much here and my truck can't pull it out. Check out how much this thing was frozen into the ground. It's been sitting out here for about 5 years now, so I'm going to dig out this little path so then hopefully those tires can come on out. Wish me luck. So I got the truck hooked up to the trailer and I gave it a few tugs, putting some air in the tires just to try to help it come out of the ground because it's been sitting for about 5 years. And I've been tugging so hard that it's actually starting to pull the receiver off my truck. Yeah, no bueno, cuz. That's not good. I'm going to have to come back here with something else because this thing is pretty old and rusty, so we'll have to try again tomorrow. And I'd be lying if I said that this thing has gone smoothly. Ever since I got here, it's been fighting me tooth and nail. But tomorrow we're going to come back with something else to try to pull this thing out of here, get it in the shop, get the cage, get the driveline out of it, and put it into that one. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, it's the next day, and we got this thing out thanks to the help of my cousin Drew with a tow strap to my truck and UNKS Racing watching. Good job, Drew. Now, is it even a plow truck if it doesn't have any rust on it? Shout out to CS Services and my cousin Drew for helping me out with this project. You'll see a lot more of him throughout the rest of the video and throughout the race season too. We're going to get him behind the wheel. Are you excited to see these things go?
I don't want them anymore.
There you go. All right, Drew, what's the success rate we get this one out first try?
100%.
100%?
100%.
I like your confidence. We need that around here. Well, surprise, surprise. 2 trucks ain't going to get this thing out, so we're going to shovel out some more and give her another go. What'd you find, Drew?
The hitch for the trailer.
I thought I had that all the way up, though. You saw me.
Yeah. Just broke off. That's all.
Oh, hey, it's just a souvenir.
Yeah. Add to the collection.
Yeah. Jeez. All right, success. We got her out of its hole. Good job, Drew. Let's go. I can get a good look at it. A little bit of cancer on the bottom, but you're going to have that anywhere up here. But we'll get this one off to the side. We'll get that black one over there, over to the shop, get that stripped down, come back for this. Oh, what's up, little guy? Got ourselves a supervisor. All right. Thanks again, boys. Alright, so after 2 days of messing around with getting this thing out of its hole, we're finally ready to get over to the shop and get working on it. We'll see you over there. Alright, I think that ought to work for now. We'll get her up on some stands and start taking the drive line and roll cage out. I believe you got to head out for the day. Alright, I'll see you first thing in the morning. Thanks for your help, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Alright, there we go. We got it up on 4 stands, got the hood off. Here's what we're taking out. 2.2 liter Ecotech with automatic trans. I know I'm a manual guy too, but we're working with what we got. So we'll go ahead and pull these tires off, pull some axles, get ready to start disconnecting stuff up top. Well, at least I don't have to take the driver's side axle out. There we go. Got radiator. Keep plugging away. So some time has passed now. I set the camera aside to get wrenching on this thing. I'm already 2 days behind on where I want to be, but I'll get you caught up here right now. I've got the wiring harness off to the side. I got the automatic transmission shift cable out of the way. The power steering disconnected. All the cooling system disconnected. The oil is draining. I still got to pull the passenger side CV axle. Obviously, as you saw, the driver's side is already disconnected. Still might have to do something in there, but not sure yet. Once I get those out of the way, then it's the exhaust manifold, the fuel lines, and then the engine and transmission mounts. So, about halfway there, we'll keep on digging. Alright, I'm just about ready to pull this engine out. As a matter of fact, it's almost falling out of the car. Take a look at that. The driver's side mount has broken off. So all that's left holding this thing is the passenger side mount. Yeesh. So let's get a cherry picker on it, rip this thing out of here. Brand new cherry picker. Let's put her to work. Alright, it should be good to pull. There we are. Get her down so we don't hurt ourselves. Alright. There you have it. The engine is out of the car. We'll look through here and see if there's anything that's worth salvaging. Get the roof cut off next, get that cage out, and before the season starts, we'll make sure we get this engine sent off, get it refreshed, ready for the season, as well as the automatic transmission. We'll make sure that that's all squared away, ready to go. Heck yeah, we're getting there. So just to give you guys a visual of what we're looking to do here with the roof, we're going to cut right here on the C post, right here on the B post, and right here on the A post. But first what we're going to do is we're going to try to save these quarter windows since they're still in pretty good shape. We're going to take these door braces out, pull the door open, and then start cutting everything. And hopefully I'm strong enough to where I can lift up the roof and then start getting in on the cage. Alright, the side windows are out, the doors are open. Time for the fun stuff. See if I'm strong enough. Now it's like one of those topless late models. I don't know, should that be a thing in the sport compact class? I don't think so. It probably won't be safe. But hey, now we can see everything. Now we got to get it off of the car itself and then clean it up and put it in the other one. But heck yeah, that's good progress. Now I can show you guys the inside of this thing since I put the convertible modification on. So this is what we're working with. Kirky race seat, dash. I think this is a, I can't remember what type of cage kit it is, but it's a pre-bent cage kit that they welded in. So we're going to go ahead and cut them as flush as we can to these plates on all 6 points of the car. Alright, I got the seat bolts out. Get this out of here. Clean it up, put her back in. Should be able to reuse it. And it's got speed holes for weight reduction. Well, here we have the cage just about ready to come out. I'm hung up down on the bottom here, so I'm going to see if I can shimmy it some more. And hopefully the next shot that you see, this thing will be on the ground. Well, that was more of a struggle than I care to admit. But here we are on the ground with the roll cage. We'll get this roof put back on, throw the tires on, and then this thing is going to the scrapyard. Thank you for your service. Man, it looks like a bomb went off in here. Look at all the carnage. Anyway, big thank you to Fossum Plumbing, Jamie, not only for hiring me to be your employee, but also lending me the shop while you're out in Idaho, ripping it on snowmobiles. I'm going to have this cleaned up before you come back, I promise. Oh look, my lovely wife has showed up with dinner. What do you think of the carnage?
I think you better clean it up before Jamie gets back.
True. Alright, so the last thing I need off of this roof. You got music playing?
You know your wife's in the studio when Taylor Swift's going.
That's gonna get me demonetized, bro.
You can edit it and post it.
If anybody even watches.
Well.
Alright, let me get this off.
I'm in the danger zone. Nice.
Alright. Now we can throw that thing up in there and send that car down the road to the scrapyard.
Woo! Bye, car. Our shop dog. Tinky Winky. Jink, eating his food. With his head a boy.
Alright, so we made it to a good stopping point for the night. Here's what we got. We're going to come back in the morning with my cousin Drew. We're going to get that silver car over here and hopefully start gutting the interior. But this one's ready to go to the scrapyard. We'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Good morning. It is now the next day. As you can see, Drew and I have the car up on the trailer. But the last thing we need to do before we haul this thing over to the scrapyard is get these wheels and tires off because we're going to reuse them for our silver car. And with some movie magic, wheels and tires are off. Car is up on blocks. We'll get it strapped down. Make sure everything's not going to go anywhere. Take a trip about 15 minutes down to the scrapyard and get this out of our way. Looks a lot different than when we brought it in here less than 24 hours ago. Alright, big thanks to Mark Salvage getting this out of our way. Hit them up, 218-260-5944. Alright, so we dropped off the black car at the scrapyard, and now we picked up the silver one and heading back to the shop to where we can unload it and get a good look at it. Well, here's a look of the inside of everything that we're taking out. Drew's going ahead and starting with the door panels over there. Then he'll work his way in towards the seat, the back seat. All the carpet's got to come out. The whole entire dash has got to come out. The headliner, the glass, everything in the trunk, tail lights, headlights. So by the time we're done with this thing, it's going to be a shell. And then up here, the engine has been removed, and the transmission was semi-supported with a ratchet strap and 2x4. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this stuff up, get that transmission out, because we're going to be using this one here. And when I was cleaning out the trunk, they left behind some parts from the engine, intake manifold, exhaust manifold, starter, some engine mounts. So we might find some use for that down the road. You never know when you're at the track and one of those things are either going to crack or break. So nice to know that we got something with this deal. Good old safety squint. So when I was taking the back seat out, I found the CD, and at least the previous owner had good taste and some good old Breaking Benjamin from 2006. Let's keep going. Well, now that you got some wings, are you ready to pull that chair out? Or that seat? Should be the final one after a little persuasion. There we go. Now I know some people, when they're stripping out a car in order to put a roll cage in and make it a race car, they'll try to save all these interior components and try to part it out to make back some of their money. Well, I just don't have the space for all that, and I don't really care to like spend the time to list everything and then store it and then have to negotiate with people. So you can do that if you guys want whenever you're going to build a car, you know, part it out. But in our case, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all this and throw it in the dump. Oh boy, what's this?
Goodies.
Oh yeah, that's like straight out of Junkyard Digs. Good old mouse nest. You can literally see the mouse pee. That or it's grease. Oh my goodness.
Gross either way.
Well, good thing you're cleaning it, right? And I do want to correct myself here that if you do think that there's something valuable inside the car or something on the exterior like doors that you're not saving or whatnot, it is worth to sell some things to try to off-put the cost that it is to build a race car. A little bit of a destruction time trying to get this dash out, but that's good, dude. We're in the steer line. Hold on to that heater right there. Hose. Where it is right there. Perfect. Alright. Destruction. Alright, so we're still plugging away here in the shop. We went ahead and brought all the interior pieces to the dump. And here's a look on the inside. Looking pretty good. Now me and Drew are going to work together on getting the glass out of here, so then we can fit that cage too. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to be jumping around a lot just because we got so much ground to cover after losing 2 days of work. So we're pretty much done with the interior like paneling and seats and everything. Now Drew gets to start with the fun stuff of pulling the windows out. He's a lumberjack now. Except for instead of wood, he's doing glass. Well, hopefully you're not cutting through glass. You're cutting through sealant. But.
Rubber.
Now, we're no experts on removing glass from a car, but a couple tips that we've learned is that you can either use this tool here and kind of saw in between the seam there and cut all the rubber out, or you can use a multi-tool, wiggle saw, whatever you may call this tool, and that's how you can kind of get in between the window and cut all this in between, and then come back with like a grinder or just a scraper to make that look nice. But once we get this windshield out, which is just about ready to, we'll work on our back glass, and then we'll cut this roof off. Alright, just in case this thing shatters in a million pieces. Here we go. Yeah. Alright. Now we got to do the back side too. There you go. Good job, dude.
Yeah. Took a while.
Yeah. Well, this, you know, we're not safe light, so one more piece to go, then we can get the roof off and get that cage in. On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly would you want to do this again?
0. I would
0?
never want to do it again.
Would not recommend?
Would not recommend.
Hey, you're almost there, though.
Pay a professional.
Pay a professional, yeah. So, you're all I got. You're what fits in the budget. Alright, so Drew finally has the back window out. Now we can go ahead and cut the roof off by taking the C post, the B post, and the A post out. We'll mock that roll cage up, make some plates to weld down into the floor, and then weld the cage to that. All day.
Light work.
So that actually went way smoother than I anticipated. So now what we're going to have to do is mark where the cage meets the car on all 6 points. And take some 1/8-inch steel and make a box for it to weld to. But I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. Drew's got to head out and do something in the morning, so I'm going to be back here by myself and try to get this thing welded in. So we'll see you all in the morning. Good morning once again. Welcome to the final day of the build. Thanks for sticking around if you have. Unfortunately, I'm not getting the engine and transmission in before the end of the video because I have this shop for one more day. So now we're on this side of the shop to where I can get the welder to it. I'm going to start off by making the plates to weld to the car, and then I'm going to start prepping the cage. So let's see if we can get it all done today. There we go. Now all 6 points have been welded in. It's not necessarily my best work, but I don't weld every day. So now we'll go ahead and get the cage on and weld those to the plates. Alright, there we go. The cage is in. It's not necessarily my best work, nor am I particularly proud of it, but I am not a professional welder, so this will have to do. Let's go ahead and prep the roof to get back on, and hopefully I can do some decent welds on that. Well, we got a little bit more work to do. As you can see, right here, looks good. That's not good. So we're going to have to do some trimming up in here, so then the roof can clear the roll cage and drop down. Then we should be able to weld all 6 corners. Alright, so it took some time, but we finally have the roof welded on. The last thing that we need to do is cut the door skin off, the driver's door, because the roll cage kicks out. So once we do that, we'll be able to reuse the original mounts for the door, and then we're pretty much done. Just like that, the door skin has been cut off. Now we'll go ahead and try to fit the door up to the car and make sure that it's going to clear the roll cage. So it looks like we just got a little bit left right up here. So we'll just take this strip out. That way the door should be able to go all the way in. We'll find out. Alright, now that looks way better. And with that, the cage is back in, the roof is on. The welding is pretty much done. There might be some things down the road, but for right now, today, this is where I wanted to be. So this is where I'm going to end things in this video. I'm still going to stop by in the morning and clean up shop. That way the boss man isn't mad at me. But big thank you and shout out to Jace with UNKS Racing for working out a deal with me on this thing. Drew with CS Services for all of his help. I definitely couldn't have gotten it out of its hole without him. And then Jamie with Fossum Plumbing for allowing me to use his shop while he's out on vacation. I'm not too sure what my goals are with this channel, but I just really want to document things and watch things progress. That way I can look back on in the future. But big thank you if you made it this far. Leave a like if you want to. And hopefully you stay tuned for the race season ahead. Thank you guys.